Hello and welcome to House of Talent. This is the Coffee Break Show with me, Emmanuel. How has your week been? How is your day going? How is your night going? Depending on where you're watching around the world. This is the show that is all about coffee, everything you need to know about coffee. Basically from where it starts in the garden to where it ends up in your cup. They call it from tree to cup. My name is Emmanuel and this is House of Talent. Remember, you can catch us on our social media handles. You can watch the shows there, or you can go to our website at houseoftalentug.com. Today in the house, I have two gentlemen. Last time we had a lady in the house, so we thought we'd balance it out this week. So I have two gentlemen in the house. One you have seen, he has been here before. He calls himself an apostle of coffee, and we have also someone new on the show. I'll let them introduce themselves so that you know. Let's broadcast them out to the world. Gentlemen, you're very welcome to House of Talent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for honoring our invite. Of course, Isaac, you have been here before. And
Yeah, I'm always here.
I know that there are a lot of people, you know, out there watching you and excited to hear what you have to say. You know, a lot of wisdom that you bring to the show, a lot of wisdom you bring to the coffee business. And with me here also we have Charles Kasibante. Yeah, someone we haven't seen before, but I do believe there's a lot of wisdom that is going to come from him. So, guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
It's always good to have you guys. And like I said, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. I might introduce you guys, and I won't do you know, the good that needs to be done. So I'll start with you, Isaac, please.
Yes, I'm Isaac Roxanne.
Yeah.
Most people call me Apostle Andadola because of the coffee gospel I preach. I'm someone who likes preaching the gospel of God and also the coffee gospel.
Yeah.
As you can see today, I'm wearing a shirt saying "How to win my love" or "How to win my heart." Buy me coffee. Make me coffee, big coffee. So if you want to win my love, these are the procedures you have to follow.
Interesting.
So we are trying to do something like promote coffee, the gospel through the shirts we are wearing, like the way. So these shirts, you can get them at Brew Plus in case you're a fan of promoting the coffee gospel, spreading the coffee gospel. So feel free to come at the office to get your shirt.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Charles, I'll let you go next. Please let us know who you are.
I'm happy to be here. By names of Kasibante Charles, a barista at Commercial Foods. One is Chirichireka, another one is in Bukolobi. I was mentored. This is my mentor, my teacher. I was in the school between 2018 to 2019. I've been in the industry for more than now. It's coming to 3 years. So I'm so glad to be here.
Well, it's very good to have you. Usually for someone new on the show, we always ask them how their coffee journey started, because it's a very rare thing in Uganda to hear someone say, you know what, I'm in the coffee business, I'm a barista. Someone don't even know what the word barista means, okay? So Charles, for you, what was that thing that drew you in towards coffee? Did someone come and preach the gospel to you and say, you know what, you need to start getting into coffee? What was that thing that really pulled you into the coffee business?
One of them, first of all, it was love. The love that my brother had and Mr. Isaac. Yes, it's the first thing that pushed me to come in this industry. Yes, I admired them, what they were doing. I liked the art on the cup. I liked the taste, because when I came, it was so good to be in the industry, and they were so enjoying. So I wanted to be someone. I wanted to be someone who can stand somewhere and they said that is Barista Charles. And I'm making it. The journey is so enjoying. The journey is so enjoying.
Well, it's good to know that, you know, that journey that your brother and Isaac really had an influence. I think a couple of other guests who have been here, their brothers have had an influence, okay? I don't know why sisters are not influencing people to
We shall have to look into that.
Shall have to look into that. So Isaac, I know you've been here before, so but for the people who don't know you, I believe that there are people here watching for the first time. Let us know. So what drew you towards coffee? Because it's something rare, okay? But now it seems like you have grown so much, you have mentored people. But what was that initial thing that also drew you towards coffee?
Actually, I always tell people that a friend, if you have a good friend, not any other friend, we have bad days that, let's go and watch football. That may not be your friend. It's football making you guys to come together. Apart from football, after football is done, everyone is scattering to do their own thing.
True.
So we have good friends. Now a good friend is someone who is going to look at your situation and tell you, man, there's this gig here. Can you manage to adopt to work? Can you manage to learn? So I learned coffee through a friend also. He's like a brother to me. So this guy also introduced me to his boss. At the end of the day, the boss liked me because I had that engineering part of it, and I also had adopted the new culture of coffee with me. So on the other side, I'm an engineer. On this side, I'm also a coffee gospel preacher.
Well, it's interesting.
So
yeah,
that is how he drove me into the coffee business, because he saw me as someone who could catch up quickly because I'm a fast learner. So, and at the end of the day, I never disappointed. Yeah, so that is my journey.
So right now in your life, how do you balance being an engineer and working in the coffee? Or you totally said, you know what, I think this is the end of engineering. I should just move towards coffee. So how are you balancing the two things?
Actually, in the coffee business, it gives you also time to do other things. For example, one thing I love about the coffee business is that people do set cafe, and I'm one of the people who set cafes for people. At the end of the day, they will ask you, how would you want my interior to be like? So that's when the engineering bit of it comes about.
True,
I'm like, if you want the engineering bit, then I'm going to do another quotation. So that
so you get to make twice the money.
You get the point. So at the end of the day, I love it in coffee, doing engineering, at the same time also preaching the coffee gospel, training. So I'm like, how do they say?
Jack of all trades.
Universal charger.
Interesting. So Charles, to you, is there anything else you do outside coffee, or you also just decided to concentrate basically on that?
I myself, I have like a company, a smoker company, a cleaning company. So when I'm not in coffee, I'm in cleaning. But I love coffee and I love the other job. So I'm not only doing coffee, because before joining coffee, I was cleaning somewhere. But I got inspired by my two brothers and I decided to join this industry.
Yeah, I love how it says company. Something small on the side that is trying to grow. Well, that's interesting that you guys actually have lives outside coffee. Most times people think that when you get into something, you forget about your other part of life. But we have an engineer, we have Charles, who's I believe you want to build a very big empire when it comes to cleaning. It's actually it's actually a very important thing, because if you go to someone and say, okay, you know what, let's say you go for a gig, and that day the barista at the gig, and they're looking for someone else to clean after the party, so you offer the extra service. So
actually, I always use his services, and when I go to cafes, there's fumigation, and in cleaning, there's also that part of fumigation. So you see, that is the beauty of being in the coffee world. You don't get limited to do other things also. Regardless, this is there, but also at the end of the day, when I get a gig and I'm like, Charles, there's this cafe, it needs fumigation, he'll rush. And at the end of the day, I can say, he's also a barista, he can train. In case you need his services, I can recommend. So the boss is like, oh, really? This is
so it's always a win-win situation when it comes to this. Okay, that's interesting. Let's get a bit away from work for just 1 second. I believe that outside work, we also have other lives, So what are you guys passionate about? I know there are people who are passionate about football. There are people who are passionate about sports, riding bikes and different things. So what are you passionate about, Isaac?
Like me, Isaac, actually, research. That is number one. Research about engineering and also coffee. The other thing is I love watching movies and animations. Because I learn a lot from them. Movies. Not every movie. I specify movies. So I like watching swimming, going to the beach. That I also like playing football, but I don't watch football. I just like to go there, sweat a bit, come out, and you go and bathe and you sleep. So, but I don't like watching football. Most of my time I spend them on my laptop doing research about the field, because I'm in the business where I'm preaching a gospel. So I have to have more knowledge, be up to date about what is happening and what is trending. So most of my time I'm always in the office, either watching a movie or just doing research.
Okay.
Because what I like best.
Interesting. What about you, Charles? What are you passionate about?
100% football.
It's always interesting, you know, out of 10 people, you'll find someone who watches football.
Yeah, of course.
I like football from my childhood to where I am. Yeah. And watching film, movies, part of it. But for me, when there is a match somewhere, I definitely first go and watch that football.
So which team do you support? I hope it's not Arsenal, but let's move on with that.
It's on. It's Arsenal.
You know, it's so funny. Last week after the Arsenal game, there were a lot of memes coming out, and was saying that, you know, the federation should allow Arsenal to have 2 goalkeepers because because the way things are going for Arsenal now, it's
they're just stories.
It's not just stories, but and it's interesting to always know that, you know, there are other things that we're passionate about in life, you know, and these are the things that make you a wholesome person. You know, when you pick different parts of your life and put it together, it makes you a wholesome person. And I believe that it's this kind of personality that you bring to the coffee business, because you have to deal with very different kind of people, very different kinds of situations. Imagine you get your barista at a certain gig, you know, you get this customer who's passionate about Arsenal. So, you know, so you end up making different connections like that. So to Isaac, we know that you're the CEO at Brew Plus Lab, which has brought out very many students, Charles inclusive. What has your experience been at Brew Plus, you know, with all these years of experience and with the different students you've had? What has been your experience so far?
Actually, one thing you have to know as someone who trains, it's not easy to train. And it's not easy to teach. He can tell you that, because I know at some point he's at the cafe and the boss is saying, Charles, I brought in some new member, can you train them? So he can even testify about that. So at the end of the day, it's not easy. One thing you have to learn is, like, everyone that comes to the lab or the training academy has different characters and also come with a different mindset, because now you have now I have a doctrine I set and the syllabus I set to everyone that comes, whether you're from another coffee school, but here you come and learn the Brew Plus culture, coffee culture. Because at the end of the day, I don't know how the other doctrines are being set, but here and my team, we sit down, we set a curriculum that guys have to follow. Whether you're saying that I know, you have to follow. Now, you find someone coming in and telling you, Isaac, I want to learn the machine. At the end of the day, in Brew Plus, before you want to learn the machine, you sit down for the papers. We give you a paper, you sit. If you pass, then we shall know you know what you are going to do. Yes, you are qualifying for the machine. If you fail the paper, we come back and we tell you the truth is you don't have the knowledge about coffee, and you need this knowledge, and it moves along with the practical bit of it. So those are our doctrines. We like the money that you bring to us, but if you are not ready to adopt our doctrines, what is the use? Because at the end of the day, when you're going out there, you are representing that school that you are from. Not only you that now I'm a barista, but you are representing that school you're from. You get the point. So it hasn't been easy, but it's just that I have my own, how can I say, how I work my magic to see that someone adopts the culture of Brew Plus. Yes.
Interesting. Charles, you were a student at one point, and now, you know, you transitioned to a barista, and now you're also a teacher. So you teach different people at your different stations. How was it transitioning from being a student into being a barista? Let's say your first gig, were you scared, like people say I had butterflies in my stomach? Did you make a bad cup of coffee and think to yourself, you know, I need to go back to school? How was that transitioning for you?
Remember when you're from the school, you have to go to the field and start working. But first of all, if you're passionate about what you're going to do, I believe in all work we do mistakes. So my first experience at work was when I reached at work, you know, you have to be confident when you are doing something. Even if it's wrong, in our industry, you have to be confident. Once you are confident, you give support of it.
Yeah.
So, my first cup to make was for a customer, and I made a mistake on it because the waitress came and gave me a cappuccino single. I made it and gave it to her. Then she told me, no, the guest wanted a flower on it. I could not make a flower. So I said, what I've given you is what is supposed to go. I cannot make another cup of coffee. Yeah. Please take that to a customer. If he calls me, I'll explain why. So that's how I started. Yeah. But to me, when you love what you're doing, even when you make mistakes, still you will support that mistake and it will go. So I have love for the coffee, for the industry. I have love for what I'm doing, and when I'm on the station, trust me, I don't want anyone to disturb me. Even if you are home, even if you are the boss, once I'm in my bar, it is my turn.
It's your area.
Wait for my shift to get done, then you can bring me a coffee.
Interesting. If you're watching us, this is House of Talent, the coffee break. We are having some fun with Isaac and Charles here. You know, Charles telling us about his first experience, and he was supposed to make a certain cup of coffee, which he did not do, but these are the different experiences that we have. So if you're a barista and it's your first day on the job, relax. You got this. Have some confidence. We have you here at the coffee break, and we're going to take a break right now. But when we return, we still have that part of we're going to brew a cup of coffee, which I believe is going to be very tasty. Okay. And we'll also be talking about how can we set up a successful coffee business, which I think very many people are trying to get into right now. So we'll take a break right now. This is the coffee break on House of Talent Television. Welcome back to the coffee break on House of Talent Television. My name is Ateng Emmanuel, and this is the show that is all about coffee. Remember, if you know someone who's a barista, who's a kappa, who grows coffee, and you think they need to be on the show, you can always contact us. Let us know. We'll bring them here so that we can always change information. As you know, people in the coffee industry, it's a growing industry and we need to support each other. But if you just love the show, you can always tune into House of Talent Television. We'll be giving you guys the best information on coffee. We'll be teaching you guys how to brew different cups of coffee, and basically, you know, just have a good time like we're having right now in the studio with Isaac and Charles. You know, Charles telling us about his experience and him watching football, supporting Arsenal. For Arsenal supporters, I think you need a lot of coffee for basically what's going on in your camp. Yeah, but it's really interesting. I know both of you have, you know, you were students once, then you passed out, and you know now, Isaac, you run Brew Plus, sorry, and Charles, you're also doing your thing. And there are people out there who want to know, okay, if I want to set up a successful coffee business, okay, where do I start? Like from conception until, you know, I serve my first cup, you know. Isaac, where do we start?
Now, where do you start is one. As the CEO of the project, let's say you are the boss, you have to have a good team. Even before you have a good team, you have to have knowledge about what you're going to do. Now, this is the challenge we are finding in our field, that most of the bosses, because just someone has money, he saws, like, let's say the boss of Cafe Javas putting up a restaurant, so he's like, let me also go, I have my room there, let me make it a coffee shop. No, things don't just work like that. You just have to, you have the money, right? But the other thing, you need knowledge about what you are entering into. You get it's like buying a car and you want to drive it, but you have never driven it before, or you have never been in a driving school. So at the end of the day, you're going to crash.
True.
Now, I always tell the bosses, do you know or do you have any knowledge about this field? If you don't have, are you willing to learn? 2, the team you're going to work with. Now, the restaurant business or the hotel industry is too big. We have different sectors. We have the managerial sector, where the managers fall. We have the supervision sector, where the supervisors fall. We have the waiters, we have the barmen, we have like the barmen. We have the baristas, we have the kitchen. In the kitchen you'll find the head chef, we have the pastry chefs, we have the stewards. So every sector, you have to know what happens in the kitchen. Is the kitchen the same as barista? So most bosses don't even differentiate between the barista sector and the kitchen sector. They think this is one. You get the point? So at the end of the day, you have to have all that knowledge about what you're going to invest in your money. And the other thing, you have to come up with what they call a doctrine and recipes of that particular place. Now, for example, I've worked with Javas. They have their culture as Javas, they have their recipes as Javas, and they have their doctrines as Javas. Javas has a policy that whenever you come to Javas, you have to learn how to do things in the Javas way. Once you leave Javas, you can do things the way you want. If you go to La Petite, I've worked with their La Patisserie, you'll find that they have their culture. The way they serve certain things is not the same way that like Javas does it. So all these, as a person who wants to invest money in the restaurant business, you have to have a system and a team that helps you come up with either that system or you build up that system as you, so that you know that here, this is our recipe, here, this is what we do, here, when someone joins, this is what they do.
Okay. To Charles, you're running two businesses now. You're running a cleaning business, then you're also doing it with coffee. Isaac has given us a good perspective, but I believe that different people have different perspectives. So for you, let's say when you were starting the cleaning business, I believe business is one thing. We could get into different avenues, coffee, cleaning, sports and all these things, but at the bottom of it, business is the same. So what are some of those steps you took, when you decided to open your cleaning business or your coffee business that, other people can learn from?
First of all, before you start a business, to me, you have to have the love of what you're going to do. Like for my cleaning company, I started it because I had experience about it. Two, the location of the place. What is your target group? Yes. And another thing is marketing. You have to know when you're starting a business, do people know who you are? Do people have an experience about you? Have you ever worked for someone at a certain place? How was your work? Because I believe in any business, any person you get, any customer you get, you have to do the best out of you, such that that customer will attract others to join your company. So I had to make sure that the people I serve, I do my best to attract others. And I'm so happy because at least the people I targeted to when I was starting my car business, bringing in more and more customers to me, and I'm doing my best to provide what I can to them.
Interesting. You brought up a very important subject there. When it comes to a business, there are certain things that we need to consider. He talked about the target audience. Isaac, when you are starting the Brew Plus Lab, what was your target audience? I believe you sat down and said, you know what, this is the group of people that I need to target, and this is the group of people that are maybe going to bring me the most income, or these are the group of people who are going to come for lessons and all that. So how did you come up with your target audience, and what is the target audience?
One, around me, I had what they call friends. Now, the best people who are going to market your product are your friends. Now, once, like for example, Brew Plus, you train one person, they'll go and preach the gospel and say, I recommend you to join barista. Now, class attracts class.
True.
If you have a good product, it will always attract people who want it. Now, I've seen people out there going on saying, I'm selling this, it's the best, advertising their product. But at the end of the day, if you use their product, it's not worth it what they're saying. Now, at the end of the day, class will always attract class. Now, my clientele is friends. Because now, every person that I'm close to and I've trained are the same people who are the ones recommending.
Yeah.
So majorly it's friends, family, because they support my hustle.
Yeah.
You get the point? It starts with the people around you.
Yeah.
Because I don't know the line that is behind Charles, the people behind him,
Yeah.
but he's my friend. I don't know the line that is behind you,
Yeah.
but you are my friend.
True.
At some point when they talk about coffee, who comes to your mind right now?
You.
Thank you. So you get the point. Eh?
Yeah.
Sometimes start with, don't go and say, now I've opened up, let me go to the TVs and start showing everyone that I know, I do this, I do this. Yeah, you may put in millions of money, but at the end of the day, you are ignoring the people who could preach the gospel more.
Yeah.
May I believe my friend can preach the gospel more if my work is worth it.
True.
So put emphasis on your work, upgrading your work to a certain level whereby people will look for you.
Yeah.
You know, the poorest man on earth is not the man without money, but the man without knowledge. Yeah. So at some point, knowledge, look at King Solomon. Yeah. He's rich because of what? Knowledge.
True.
So at the end of the day, you need knowledge and money will find you.
True.
So a good name is also better than precious riches, not so? So which
Very
means
true.
make a good name,
Yeah.
and because of your good name, everyone will come back to you.
Yeah.
There's a scene that has been going on with Javas of recently.
Yeah.
Javas is a big brand. But at the end of the day, if you have to look back on the scene, you cannot take it down easily because of something small.
Yeah.
Now, a good name is better than precious riches. So work on your name, other things will follow you.
That's very true.
Just to add on what,
yeah, please.
Just to add on what Isaac has said, ever since I met Isaac in 2018, he has been the same person up to today.
Yeah.
I think humbleness and putting yourself down with everyone you're working, you associate with, is the best way to run a business. Yeah. For me, the people that I always serve in my company, I have to be always down. You have to be always down, equal to anyone you find in a place. Ever since I met him, and whenever I make a contact with him, whenever I call him, he's always there. Yeah. He has never bragged at any one time on us that I'm here in a lot, I own a company, so you can't just come, you pass through this one to meet me. So he has always been there, even when I call him at night, in the middle of the night. Because, you know, in our industry, you keep researching and you keep contacting the people who are ahead of you. Because I believe he's ahead of me in the coffee industry, so I always disturb him.
I keep on disturbing him.
I keep on disturbing him, such that I want to reach at a point where at least I'm sitting on the same table with him. Yes, because I believe even those guys who are coming, they're from down, meeting us. We have to be humble to them for them to learn. But if we brag, there's no way we can teach each other.
Very true. I like what you're saying there. And we're going to go into another break. What we're discussing is really interesting. I know people don't want us to even go into a break right now, but I'm going to go into a break, and when we get back, there are certain issues that are basically facing the coffee industry right now that we need to talk about. You know, for example, the issue that happened with Javas and all these things, and there are things that we should talk about that will help other baristas who are coming up. We'll take a break right now. This is the Coffee Break on House of Talent Television. Welcome back to House of Talent Television. This is the Coffee Break Show with me, Emmanuel. I believe this is the most exciting show, actually the only coffee show that we have in the country currently. Yeah, and it's a very good thing, I believe, that we're doing here. Before we went for a break, we're basically discussing how you can, you know, start up a successful coffee business. And with every business, there are challenges that come. Okay, for example, the challenge that Cafe Javas was facing just a couple of days ago, and there are a lot of these other things. Isaac, what are some of these challenges you have faced, and how have you overcome them?
Now, for example, we always have challenges with customers. That's why whenever I used to be in restaurants, I used to be in the barista sector, and at a point whereby I serve my own customers coffee, so that even if it means me going out to get some orders from the customer, it helps me. How? I have to understand, how does Emma take his coffee?
Yeah.
How does Charles take coffee? Maybe Charles is not a fan of strong coffee, so you have to understand how customers take their coffee.
Yeah.
Yes, and there's a customer coming and telling you, can you deal me something off the menu but I'm willing to pay?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you have to come up with something unique off the menu, but the customer is going to pay. Even if you tell them it will cost 50,000, they will say, it's fine, just do it.
Yeah.
Then break it down to the customer, tell him, according to what I'm going to do a blend of this, do this and this. Are you allergic to something?
Yeah.
Find out exactly. If the customer is allergic to something, you don't put it there when you're making.
Yeah.
You get the point? So I believe most baristas think that by being behind the bar, now they are done. You get the point?
Yeah.
But reach to that point of understanding each customer. That you see, waiters, they do mistakes also. They are humans. So at some point, a waiter will come with a confusing order. Some waiters will, you see, who are not trained very well, they will come. For example, someone will come and say, I have customers there, they are 4, they are saying they want an espresso divided into 4. And seriously, you're like, but it is impossible.
It's
Come on,
impossible,
how can you divide this into 4?
Yeah.
So at some point, it gives you a mind. Don't be harsh on that waiter, but ask the waiter, can I please meet with the customer, and explain to them.
Yeah.
You get the point. What an espresso is, it's just a shot.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, that is how I used to operate in the restaurant.
Okay.
I feel me involving, apart from the production part, but also in the service part, it was the best thing that has ever happened to me. Yeah, because that's how I made friends with the customers. They're like, where is this black guy? If this black guy is not there, man, I'm not taking coffee today. You get the point?
Yeah.
So the customer is calling you like, man, I came there, you're not there. What happened? You are the only one who knows how to do my beverage.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you as like the boss of the restaurant, you have to come up with a team, give the baristas a chance to go and build recipes for your restaurant. Give them the time to do research. Most baristas, they are used to just coming to the station, going back. The only time they are meeting the boss is when there's something big that has happened. Maybe a client is saying, today this guy's coffee is not good. So you as a boss, love the baristas, be part of the team. I have seen bosses whereby he's asking, where is this going? He picks the tray, he takes, it is his business. Lead by example. Don't be in the office, say, I'm paying him. You see the point? Don't be harsh on these people who are doing production.
True.
You get the point? A barista is having a lot on the mind during production. Orders are flying in like jet fighters. So at the end of the day, you as a boss, you're also coming to stress him. So they're dealing with a lot. It's not easy to be behind there. I know what is that. The next day you're hearing a customer saying, man, I didn't order for this. What is this? Take it away, pouring it on him. So these guys are dealing with a lot. So at some point, you as a boss, you have to be calm with the people in production, or else you are going to make them hate their job. Yes.
So a couple of things you've said there. One, you have to brand yourself. You know, people are looking for you. If you're not there, nothing is happening. So you have to brand yourself as a barista. Then too, you have to know how to work with people. Not only your customers, but also the people you work with, you know, in the station. And also, like he said earlier, you have to be down to earth. Even if you're a boss, you know, don't sit there in your office and, you know, throw out orders. Come down to the station and work with the people. I believe that when you work together, you can go further. Okay. Before we get into brewing a cup of coffee, I believe that for every industry, you know, especially now for coffee that is growing, okay, there are very many people that are starting to come into it. Okay. And with all these different people, there are different perspectives, different recipes when it comes to, you know, the coffee shops, and different schools with different doctrines, different ways in which they do things. And I believe that at a certain point, no one wants to support the other, because everyone wants to climb where? Up to the top. So everyone is being secretive about this and that. you know, not giving out, you know, the kind of stuff that they do at their school. Maybe I'm a barista, I came up with some very good recipe, I can't tell the next person because, you know, it might hurt me. Yeah, so to Charles, I believe that this is a problem that is there.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we deal with such a problem whereby no one wants to support the other, yet this is an industry that everyone should come together and actually be growing? How do we deal with such an issue?
First of all, I'll talk about the people who are feeling proud of themselves. Because in our industry, first of all, being down to earth, it means you have to help each other in what you're doing. In an industry that we are working from, but the challenge we are facing are the people who are lacking the love of what they are doing. Yes, you may be a barista, we are working on the same station, but you are looking out for money. Me, I have passion for what I'm doing, whereby I'll always feed you information that you are not going to take inside you. Now, when I come in the following day, we always do recapping, we always do briefing on what before starting a shift. You do a briefing and you find that someone is totally green about what you were doing, what you talked about yesterday. Now you lose morale on helping that person. Yes, another thing, Isaac talked about the customers. I thank this television for keeping people know about coffee. There are few televisions that give out such information about our industry. It is still low. People don't know total about coffee. You receive a customer in the restaurant, he tells you, I need, you give me a coffee beverage. For example, you give me espresso. He just reads it from the menu. You do espresso, you serve espresso. He calls you because in our restaurant we always go and make a follow-up to our customers. How was the taste of the beverage I served? So you go there, the customer tells, hey, what is this? I don't know what you gave me. You know, Bichi? I said, that is espresso. You have to explain espresso. Then at certain point, then he'll tell you, I didn't know. Just bring me hot water and add on because I need too much of it. But this is too bitter. So we need to put up shows. I request Isaac to always make exhibitions, because by making exhibitions, a person who doesn't know any beverage, he will just know what espresso is, he will know what a cappuccino is. Different customers, they have different tastes. He talked about it. You go to a customer, you make taste, I need a cappuccino. If you don't make a follow-up, he will go. But at Java's, they are making a follow-up. Now, the problem you face, he will not come back. But when you go to him, I personally have a customer who needs a hot cappuccino. A hot cappuccino. If you don't go and get information from him, understanding the customer, you will not know what he wants, and you will go move cafe to cafe because he's always waiting for you to come and engage with him. If you don't engage with him, he doesn't know, and you just go to another cafe. The other day at Java's, another cafe. So you keep on moving till you get someone who understands his taste. Another thing is about, like the incident that happened to Java's recently. That thing can happen to anyone. It can happen to any restaurant, to any cafe in the country, because you can't tell. For example, you have come, I've made for you a milkshake, you have taken it away. How will I know what happened on the way? On the transit. In the process of taking it. Now, the more you come and you say, you put this in my, sincerely, we analyze that before the drink goes out, before the beverage goes out, we have to make sure it is clean and it is properly made. You get, so if you go out, you bring your information, the feedback that I found a rat in this, I found a cockroach in this. I cannot blame myself, the person who made it, and I'm happy if Java didn't fire the people who made that milkshake, because you cannot tell. It was in the transit. The process of taking it, you don't know. You may go out and you put the back
You
of
see,
the
the challenge was, when you see that clip,
Yeah.
the challenge was that it's very rare to find a rat in a shake because I know how a shake is made. At some
Maybe
point,
the
if
blender.
not only a blender,
That's
even if you are
putting
making,
the
using
right
a shaker
Yes.
or a shake machine,
Yeah.
trust me, you will end up blending that rat. In fact, you are doing a rat shake. You get so you see, if they could if they found a rat's tail, it would be understandable. But they found a whole rat. But this rat was found after the milkshake was consumed.
And it touched.
And you went out, you came back, so it was funny.
Yeah.
So one thing customers are forgetting that we know how production is done.
Yeah.
That's why I stand with Javas.
Yeah.
Not that because I've worked there, but I know how the production is done.
Yeah.
Even if it had happened to any other cafe that have been I know how things are done in the barista sector.
Yeah.
And these guys are keen about.
So
you see, the doctrine is like before an order goes out,
You have to triple check.
check the order. You see, the order passes around in two hands.
Yeah.
You have who has made the order, goes to the head barista, who is always at the dispatch,
Yeah.
and also the controllers.
Yeah.
Now, up to the waiter. Now, 4 people. And you tell me one has not seen. There's
Right,
a problem
yes,
there. So me, I stand with Javas.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that those who have been going to Javas to have their meals, please go back, have your meal. And the other thing is like customers, please, before you leave the restaurant, first check your product.
Yeah.
Yes, I know some mistakes happen. You find someone saying, I got hair in the food.
Yeah.
Some slight mistakes happen. But at the end of the day, this one was really, I don't stand with this lady today.
Yeah, well, it's interesting what happened, but also you can bounce back from that. Yeah, I think we've reached to that part of the show where we get to brew a cup of coffee. I believe that there's certain people who wait for this part. They get their things together and say, you know what, I'm waiting to brew. And what we're brewing today is a French press.
Yes,
we have done this
French
before,
press.
but I always believe that it's good to learn and it's good to drink, coffee from different baristas. So I'll hand it over to you guys, to just take us through what we're going to make, and just like we always do, just run people through the process, from start to finish. Over to you guys.
Okay, so this is our French press. This is our goose neck kettle. This is our kettle.
Yeah.
It's called goose neck kettles.
Yeah.
Baristas outside there know what a goose neck kettle is.
Yeah.
It's used for brewing coffee. Not like the other kettles you have at home. It's kind of different.
Yeah.
So we have our hot water in the flask.
Yeah.
Anyone can do this at home.
Yeah.
You don't need to just have a big machine to do it from home.
Yeah.
So I have my hot water in the flask. I open. I pour in my hot water.
Yeah.
So I put it on top. So okay, I get my coffee. Put it here.
So do that.
Yeah, it's okay. Now I'm going to weigh my coffee.
Yeah. So if I don't have a weighing scale at home,
You just use
I can-
scoops.
Yeah.
Yeah, this spoon you can use.
Suppose I have
two
my
or-
normal-
Okay.
my
Now, for
normal
example,
spoon.
today let me brew without a weighing scale.
Yes.
Let me put it aside.
Yeah.
So,
These
one
things
thing I'm
always
going
scare
to do-
some people.
I know.
You want to make breakfast and you're looking for a weighing
I first
scale.
preheat.
Yeah.
Now, why do I preheat? The rule of brewing hot beverages: never serve a hot beverage in a cold vessel or a cold cup.
Oh.
That is why we first preheat.
Yeah.
Now you can feel the temperatures.
Yeah.
They are hot enough. So after preheating, put that back. You pour that water aside. So I have an extra cup here.
Yeah.
After, you measure your coffee. Depending, if you take strong
Strong
coffee,
coffee.
you can do 2 spoons of this.
Yeah.
Or 3,
Three.
even 4.
Yeah.
But me, I'm going to do 4,
Four.
since we are here. 3 people. Yeah. So,
As we continue with the coffee, I just wanted to ask Charles, there are certain myths about coffee. The last time we came to Brew Plus, one of the guys in our production crew, he was chewing the coffee beans, and he said when he got home, he couldn't sleep. So to Charles, is it true that, okay, not when you consume coffee, okay, there's that effect, sometimes you don't sleep, but if I chew coffee beans on a daily, does it have the same effect, okay, on me as if I've taken a cup of coffee? Would it kill that kind of sleep from me? Or it's different for different people?
And that one happens to different people.
Yeah.
Like for some, you can find someone, a barista. Let me not talk about the people, the audience. I'll talk about a barista. Yeah. He tells you, me, I'll take 4 shots of espresso to work out for me. Yeah. Now for me, when I'm at home, because I always have coffee at home. Yeah. So I always get 3 spoons of ground coffee, put in my cup, make a cup of coffee. I'll watch movies too. Now, chewing beans also almost the same, only that the other one doesn't have water. Yes, you chew it slowly, depends on that period of time you're going to chew your beans. Because you're not going to be like you chewing beanie. You have to chew slowly, taking your time, like our old judges, the old fellows, they used to take beans slowly. You take it slowly, you chew it slowly, it will work out for you.
Okay. Yeah, so
and the other thing you have to know about coffee, that coffee has caffeine. It's a natural acting stimulant, which means if you don't want to sleep, drink coffee. That's why I always ask people that, why do you drink energy drinks, like let's say Rock Boom or Sting? Because you see, whenever I'm weak and I feel the body is weak, I should just take that.
Take my Sting.
Yeah. So if it's a stimulant, I believe that even for there are people who go to the gym. So if I take coffee before I go to the gym, will it have an effect? Yeah,
because it takes you back to history. Look at the American G.I. Joes, where the history of Americano came about. Look at the athletes who used to go for to do the running thing. They used to drink coffee to help them boost their metabolism during that period of exercise. So it's always, I advise, once you're hitting the gym, first have a cup of coffee at least 30 minutes earlier, then you go on. It will help you boost that morale.
And another thing to talk about, I don't need. To we, people who love football and who have ever played football, it is always advisable to take a cup of coffee after playing football, because it will bring back the energy that you have lost while in the field. So it is a good beverage to take after and before.
Reminds me of a joke. I think your Arsenal guys need baristas. Very many. The energy they're using needs to be replaced. But so what level are we at brewing our coffee right now?
We are done. I'm just serving the coffee.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you're out there, you want to know more about coffee, we always have this show every week. You can always tune into House of Talent Television. We have basically hosted very many different baristas from different walks of life who have given us their experiences, their stories, and we believe that there are still many more who will be coming through here. If you're a barista yourself and you want to come onto the show, let us know. Send us a message. We will be very happy to host you because we want to grow this industry as much as we can. We need to support each other, just like Isaac is here, is supporting his students always. Charles is also here. And we've come to that part of the show where we need to say bye to the people until next time. I know that it's not a time that any of us likes. We could sit here and talk about coffee, like someone said, till the cows go home. But Isaac, any parting words before we go?
I just want to say thank you to whoever has been supporting me, majorly my students, because they have really helped me in terms of recommending others to me. Now, I want to thank the team that is in Dubai, Kuwait, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, that is Musao, Abdul, that is Paul, all that, those are my students. I've trained them, they're happy, they have given me a lot of good feedbacks. And I miss those days so much. I miss my lady baristas who are there that I trained, Jamila, that is Irene, Martha, all those, I miss them. Isaac, I miss them so much. Daniel, I wish they are home to see this.
Charles, any parting words from you?
Yeah. First of all, I will thank the House of Talent for hosting us, for putting up this show always. I'm so glad to be here. I will thank my mentor, my teacher, for allowing, because when he told me yesterday that you're going to be on the show, I said, sure. Because I've never been at one. So I'm so glad that I came and I shared my experience with the audience. I'm so glad with you guys. I'm glad with the team. So please, whoever out there, please keep trying coffee. It's a good beverage for everyone to take.
I also just want to thank you guys for coming onto the show. I know that every time we call, you guys are there to come and be with us. I just want to say thank you very much. And to the production guys, I know they also can't wait to have this cup of coffee. They are waiting to get off the production just to get this cup of coffee, and we'll be sharing that with them. But thank you very much, our viewers, for those of you who have been on the show with us today. Remember, always tune in, always watch, send us messages. If you like what you see, let us know. If you need anything from us, let us know. If you want something that we should change on the show, let us also know. We are here for you. Isaac, Charles, and all these other baristas are here to give you different information. From us, have a blessed day. Thank you for spending time with us on the Coffee Break on House of Talent Television. We'll take it away with our cup of coffee. Guys, thank you very much for coming on the show. Till next time, this is House of Talent Television, the Coffee Break Show.